One of the richest and most powerful figures in American industry is Warren Buffett. He was the 8th richest person in the 2021 Forbes 400 and is placed number 5 on Forbes' list of the world's billionaires for 2022. As of early July 2022, he was valued at $96.3 billion. Buffett, who resides and works in Omaha, Nebraska, earned the moniker Oracle of Omaha for his adept choice of investments. Because Buffett has made such a fortune from his stock selections over the course of his holding firm Berkshire Hathaway's 60 years of investing, investors pay heed to his recommendations. He's regarded as a focused value investor who looks for stocks with cheap prices relative to their underlying value. This value is often calculated by looking at a company's fundamentals. In today's video, we're going to talk about how Warren Buffett became a billionaire. One of history's greatest investors, Warren Buffett has achieved success. The majority of people refer to him as the Sage of Omaha, or the Oracle of Omaha. Buffett built his riches by investing in stocks, but anyone can do the same thing without having to be an expert. Due to the enormous success of his ventures, Buffett's investing technique is well known worldwide. He has a talent for identifying undervalued stocks. In addition, he has excellent risk management skills. So how does Warren Buffett use the value investing approach when buying stocks? Billions and billions of dollars have been made by Warren Buffett, who is regarded as the greatest investor of all time. His investing theory is so clear-cut and easy to understand that anybody can learn it. He uses the stock market to generate money. But how? He prioritizes value investment. Purchasing undervalued company stocks is a key component of value investing. This can refer to a variety of actions such as purchasing inexpensive stocks, good company stocks at a time when their values are low owing to transitory circumstances, or out-of-favor stocks that later increase in value. Regardless, value investing always entails purchasing a company below its real value. On August 30, 1930, in Omaha, Nebraska, Buffett was born to Howard and Layla Buffett. He was the lone male and the second of 3 kids. His father served as a 4-term member of Congress and worked as a stockbroker. Howard had non-consecutive positions on the Republican ticket while advocating for libertarianism. Buffett, who delivered newspapers and sold soft drinks, developed a passion for business at a young age. He invested the profits from the ventures when he was 14 years old on 40 acres of property, which he later rented out for profit. He applied to the University of Pennsylvania at his father's encouragement and was admitted. After 2 years, Buffett transferred to the University of Nebraska but departed unimpressed. After he graduated, his father persuaded him once more of the need for education and urged him to seek a doctorate degree. Buffett was accepted at Columbia but rejected by Harvard. He studied under Benjamin Graham, the founder of value investing, and his experience at Columbia laid the groundwork for a legendary career, despite the sluggish start. Graham declined to recruit Buffett when he graduated, even advising him to stay away from a career in finance. They reached an understanding, and Buffett went back to Omaha to work at his father's brokerage house. He wed Susan Thompson, and the two of them had children. A short while later, Graham changed his mind and extended an employment offer to Buffett in New York. Buffett had the ability to expand on the investment ideas he had heard from Graham at Columbia once he arrived in New York. Graham advocated value investing, which meant looking for stocks that were trading at a significant discount to the true worth of the underlying assets. Buffett assimilated the idea but was eager to develop it further. Unlike Graham, he preferred to go beyond the figures and concentrate on the leadership of the business and the competitive edge of its product in the market. He established Buffett Associates Limited, moved back to Omaha in 1956, and purchased the property. He teamed up with Charlie Munger in 1962 when he was 30 years old and already rich. Their joint efforts eventually led to the creation of an investment philosophy based on Buffett's notion that value investing is more than just an effort to squeeze the last few cents out of failing companies. Along the way, they bought Berkshire Hathaway, a failing textile factory. What was once a traditional Graham value play evolved into a longer-term investment as the company started to show indications of life. The textile company's cash flow was utilized to finance additional ventures. Buffett's investing strategy evolved to be centered on the idea of buying shares in firms that, in his opinion, are well-managed and inexpensive. He intends to hold the securities he buys for the foreseeable future. His conditions were satisfied by Coca-Cola, American Express, and the Gillette Company, all of which have been part of Berkshire Hathaway's holdings for many years. He often bought the businesses all together, leaving their management teams in charge of running the day-to-day operations. Some of the more well-known companies that fall under this category are Geico Auto Insurance, Dairy Queen, The Pampered Chef, Fruit of the Loom, and See's Candies. Up until the popularity of technology stocks, Buffett's aura stayed intact. He abstained from the spectacular run-up in technology companies in the late 1990s because he's a staunch anti-technophobe. As a result of sticking to his principles and declining to invest in businesses that didn't match his criteria, Buffett attracted the Wall Street insiders and was dismissed by many as a man beyond his prime. Many of those specialists went bankrupt due to the tech disaster that followed the collapse of the dot-com boom. Profits for Buffett increased by double. Buffett makes investments in companies he's familiar with. He examines a company's income statement and balance sheet, and if he can't grasp it, he won't invest in it. He considers the investment to be a long-term choice. Most of the businesses he invests in, including the ones where he lost money, would eventually recover with a significantly greater value. He came to the conclusion that it would be preferable to hold off till a better day and make a better investment. When Buffett was 35 years old, he founded his investment firm. He needed 21 years to increase his net worth from almost nothing to $435 million. Billionaires make up a very small percentage of the general population. For instance, out of 330 million people, there are 621 billionaires in the US today. When the population was 70% of what it is today, there were only 41 billionaires in the United States. At that time, which was around 1987, Buffett's net worth was around $450 million, making them considerably more uncommon than they are today. Examples include Vanderbilt, Rockefeller, Ford, Gates, and Bezos, which would correspond to the development of railroads, oil, vehicles, computers, and online commerce. Although this is a pretty short list, you get the concept. The widespread consensus is that only a very small percentage of individuals are capable of doing this. Many people attempt it, but 99.99% of them fail. And take notice that even in the US, it's nearly unheard of for billionaires to be that successful in taking a startup and converting it into a unicorn IPO, where their personal interest is worth $1 billion in less than 20 years. From the beginning of their business concepts to the point when they both became billionaires, it took 20 years for Gates and Bezos. That was accomplished in less than 20 years by Zuckerberg, Page, and Brin. But that's about it. The distinction between Buffett and the other tech-based millionaires is that Buffett didn't begin his business until he was 35 years old. In the span of nearly 20 years, Buffett built what is perhaps the most successful investing business ever, which is quite amazing. Despite having a $1 billion net worth, Warren Buffett is renowned for being extremely thrifty. He still resides in a 5-bedroom home he purchased for $31,000 in 1958, enjoys Coca-Cola, and enjoys burgers or steaks in neighborhood eateries as his go-to table meal. He avoided the thought of getting a company jet for many years. When he did ultimately buy one, he gave it the moniker indefensible in order to publicly express his disapproval of the amount of money spent on planes. After being married in 1952, he was wed to Susan Thompson for more than 50 years. Susie, Howard, and Peter, their 3 children, were born. Susan and Buffett divorced in 1977. Susan passed away in 2004, but she introduced Buffett to a waitress named Astrid Menks way before that. In August 2006, Buffett and Menks, who had been living together since 1978, got married. When you're the most successful investor in the world, what do you do with your money? Warren Buffett said to give it away. When Buffett revealed in June 2006 that the great majority of his money will be donated to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which focuses on global health challenges, US libraries, and international schools, he shocked the globe. One of the biggest open charities in the world, Buffett will donate Berkshire Hathaway Class B shares in the form of stock. He's given the Gates Foundation a total of 10 million shares. It'll be distributed in 5% increments until Buffett dies if the foundation is unable to satisfy the expenditure requirement, or if Bill or Melinda Gates cease to be actively involved in the foundation's operations. You don't need to take any unusual steps if you want to invest like Warren Buffett. In fact, a lot of novice investors are taken aback by the Oracle of Omaha's straightforward approach to investing. Buffett buys shares of outstanding companies that are now selling below their true value and maintains those shares for as long as the companies continue to be great companies. Another piece of advice from Buffett that's crucial for beginning investors, particularly in the age of Reddit message boards, is to avoid buying particular companies simply because everyone else is. However, you shouldn't always try to be the opposite and sell the stocks that everyone else is purchasing. The greatest method to invest is to completely ignore the herd and concentrate on identifying value on your own, like Buffett does. The most crucial attribute for a successful investor, according to him, is temperament, not intelligence. You need a disposition that neither enjoys going with the herd nor disobeying it. It seems likely that Buffett will continue to donate more money in the future. In his own words, "I am not a fan of dynastic riches," especially when the alternative is that 6 billion people have a chance to profit from the money while having considerably lower circumstances in life than we do. By adhering to the tried and true value investing principles and selecting high caliber firms at fair market values, Buffett has amassed a fortune. He then keeps these assets for a long time, maybe forever, always letting compound interest do its thing. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to share some thoughts in the comment section and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to keep these informational videos coming. Till next time,